Underaf by Matthew J. Canty. Book 1. Prelude. Without my family, I'd be lost like a fishing boat with no pole on the intercoastal. Chapter 1. A Hard Day's Night. Rain fell hard on the marble pillars. A man with a dark hood appears from a cave and utters a few words. Coming down now, could be storming a few hours. He continues noticing the footsteps of what could be a small force of the king. Poles should be around here somewhere, Bronn thinks to himself. The horse was a 3-year-old, and keeping him close would be essential to his survival. Where's that horse? Bronn says aloud, uncertain of the kingsman, sure to be on his tail, especially after what he just did. A loud neigh draws Bronn's attention, and he turns around, seeing a small, shaggy horse barreling towards him. He knocks him to the ground, a loud grunt leaving Bronn's lips as the horse begins to settle down. Dang it, Pole! Bronn yells, angry at the disobedient horse. Bronn stands up and brushes himself off, moving quickly to his young horse and giving him a pat on the head. Thanks for coming back for me, Bronn says, a real smile breaking out on his weathered face. The horse neighs, still a little bit rattled after recent events. He needed to get back on the road. The king's men could still be close, searching for a traveler like himself. Where is he, damn it? The king will have our heads for this. Bronn hears the loud shouts of about a dozen men, and the light from their torches was lighting the trees around Bronn and pulled the horse. There he is, men. Get him, men. They've spotted Bronn, and now he must make a choice to hop on Pole and try his chances on the dirt road near him, or stand and fight the dozen men running at him now. Swords drawn. It's time for you all to die, Bronn utters, turning to face the stampeding men. Pole, not one to be left out of a fight, gives his shaggy head a sudden toss and stamps his front hooves into the ground, menacingly staring down the hill. The soldiers and weathered traveler named Bronn, with his trusty horse, engage in a bloody first strike. Bronn, holding a midnight sword in his hand, thrusts his sword through the first man, ending his life in a single savage strike. He was outnumbered, though, and he had to make a decision fast if he wanted to save his own life. Pole, here, Bronn screams to his shaggy horse. Hearing him, Pole ran to Bronn, and the man hops on quickly, hitting the side of the horse with his foot. Now, Pole, if we can make it to the tree line, we'll be safe. Bronn shouted. Pole, reaching his stride now, galloped confidently towards the first of the trees. The soldiers, reeling from their encounter with the seasoned warrior, pointed to the man and horse, screaming, "Get them!" A few archers take out their bows, stringing the arrows with fast fingers, pull back and release a small volley towards the escaping warrior. Bronn ducks quickly, the heavy arrows flying over his head, narrowly missing Bronn and thudding soundly in the tall oaks on the forest line. Almost there now, Pole. Bronn hurries the shaggy horse on, Pole's head reaching the tree line now. Back with the soldiers, they say to each other, "Where'd he go, damn thief?" Wondering where Bronn the warrior has disappeared. Outposts should be around here somewhere, Bronn thought quickly to himself, holding the tan satchel with his stolen treasure close to his chest. Meanwhile, the king's swordsmen were racing through the forest, hoping to catch the man with the midnight sword who had killed their friend. This dragon egg he was carrying could mean big things for the resistance, though he was not out of the woods yet. And with the kingsman breathing down his neck, he needed a lifeline fast. Pole the horse was breathing heavily, his shaggy head moving up and down quickly as he carried his grateful master through the dense forestry. "Not far now, Pole," Bronn says encouragingly to his faithful horse. He sees it now. The flag for the rebel outpost jutted proudly from the forest like a totem pole out of the beach. Lower the gate now," Bronn yells through the forest tops as he approaches swiftly from the tree line. Two sleepy-looking guardsmen pick their heads up from two cozy thatch hut chairs. "Ronald, open the gate now," Jerry the guardsman yells to his compatriot. Ronald begins running towards the gate lever, the sounds of horse hooves getting louder, and as a weary traveler approaches on horseback, in his arms a large sack made of leather. "Here goes," Ron shouts as he grabs and pulls down the lever triumphantly. The old gate creaks loudly, begins to fall quickly over a small dugout trench surrounding the gate. Bron and Pull were hammering down now, gaining traction on the forest floor as he galloped on. Bron rides the horse through the gate, feeling better about his fate as a wanted man. Once inside the outpost gates, Bron hopped down from his faithful horse, giving him an appreciative pat on the head. "Good horse. We'll see to finding you the best grain Goldilocks can buy once we sort this mess out," Bron tells his horse, moving quickly now towards the center of outposts. "Need to find the Grand Maester now," Bron thinks to himself, hugging the warm satchel to himself, feeling the dragon egg inside responding softly to his touch. Passing through a set of tall oak doors, Bron begins to think to himself about his longtime friend and former teacher, the Grand Maester, and hopes he can come to a resolution to this wild story as soon as possible. The Grand Maester sits on a large wooden throne, his large head balding in the middle, giving him the look of a wise old monk. "Bron, you're here to visit your old friend," the Grand Maester says affectionately to the warrior as he makes his way to the center of the floor, still holding the precious dragon egg he went through so much to retrieve. "Sorry to barge in like this, Grand Maester, but we have a problem," Bron says to the Grand Maester, needing his help in this moment. "I see that. It's been this long and you haven't even challenged me to a game of Dazzle Elves chess yet," the Grand Maester responds, standing now to meet his former student on the floor of the hall. "There will be time for that later, Grand Maester. Right now we need to deal with the 12 Kingsmen approaching on horseback," Bron exclaims, the Grand Maester's face changing from content to shocked.